13 years after the release of Space Marine, we finally have a sequel in Space Marine 2. It is easily the most popular Warhammer 40k game ever. It is taking the internet by storm with some amazing combat. Gamers everywhere looking at it and thinking, this is how gaming should be.
Then take up the Cadian standard and hold it high so that the enemy will know the name of their executioners!
And while we would see many people being very happy about Space Marine 2, a single comment on one of the most degenerate places on Earth would cause a firestorm in the arch enemy of gamers everywhere. I've worked in the games industry a long time, and I am used to dealing with a lot of incompetence and cowardice when it comes to a lot of my colleagues in the industry. When I saw a comment that was made on one of the most degenerate locations on the internet, the Asmongold TV YouTube comment section, I thought it was a bit too good to be true. There was nothing to actually confirm that this comment was said by the CEO, and I decided to just wait. And the games journalists would see this comment. They would start to question whether it was actually them as well. Left it all be, figured we'd find out in time, and then this morning, we found out through a LinkedIn post that was from the CEO of Saber Interactive, Matthew Karch. He would be tagged in a LinkedIn post where someone would bring up this comment that was made by the alleged CEO of Saber. The CEO would say, whoever wrote that seems pretty sharp. This would all but confirm that this was actually him that said it. So what was it that he said that we would see games journalists going through Twitter saying things like, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 developer Saber Interactive won't say whether or not a controversial YouTube comment is from its CEO, or a senior reporter at Kotaku saying that Saber Interactive tells me it won't comment on whether a YouTube comment on Asmongold's channel complaining about games imposing morals on gamers belongs to its CEO or not. And a senior editor out at GameDev.com would say, if you worked on a game at Embracer that was reviewed by Karch or canceled after said review, we'd love to hear from you. We would love to know what games were imposing morals and what those morals were. Emails in my bio. First off, for a lot of these games journalists, I don't think anyone should interact with them at all because they're garbage. They are literally the arch enemy of the games industry. They are not here to help us. And let us go over really fast this super controversial comment that the CEO put out there. Hey man, CEO of Saber here. I love your videos. When we signed the deal to make Space Marine 2, all I wanted was a throwback game. We had the chance to work on something by its nature was old school. I can't even comprehend many of the current games that we play these days. They are too complex and too much of an investment. We worked on Halo back in the day, and that game could be distilled down to the simplest shooting loops, but it was entirely addicting. That's what we wanted to recapture. I hope that games like Space Marine 2 and Wukong are the start of a revision to a time where games were simply about fun and immersion. I spent some time as the chief operating officer at Embracer, and I saw games that were made that make me want to cry with their overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers. We just want to do some glory kills and get the heart rate up a little. For me, that's what games should be about. Super controversial. How dare you make games for gamers in the year 2024. Don't you understand the modern audience exists? Now, we would also see a comment out of someone claiming to be the creative director that would say that he wrote Space Marine 2 along with Craig Sherman, Randy Bagel, and Matthew Garcia Dunn. Hearing everything you have to say about the story and characters resonates so strongly with our actual approach. It's great to hear you calling out the exact things that we were intentionally focused on. It was 4.5 years of intense work and passion, and watching videos like this makes it all worth it. And I did some digging there a little bit. The individual on YouTube goes by the name of Oliver Hollis Lake, and he is in the credits for Space Marine 2 at basically the very beginning. So this does indeed seem like it is a creative director. It is so encouraging to see people in the industry right now, in my industry, that actually give a shit about making good games. I am so used to dealing with messages from CEOs or companies where they're trying to toe the line and please everyone and just not make good products anymore. So to see something like this, I am so excited. As much as I would love to go and either buy the game again or get the seasons pass, the seasons pass is like $40, and I just bought groceries, so that's not going to happen. But I'm really hoping we get more out of this team. I would be excited beyond belief if we got a spin-off of this game where we're all just Imperial Guards, or like all guardsmen just running around dying in droves. And I know for some people, they're like, oh no, but I don't want to die a bunch. I don't want to be really weak. And don't you worry. We've got a role for you too.
Cowards! You are a boil on the pride of the Cadian Guard. You have disgraced yourselves by abandoning your brothers. Your punishment is dishonorable death. Squad! Ultramarines. Ready!
Praise the Emperor.
Aim! Fire!
But it's good to see that the industry is finally healing.
Oh shit, here we go again.
But that's all I got for today. Thank you for your time. And if you are interested in more games related content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you again in a future video. Farewell.